Hey folks, welcome back. We're in round 2 here of our airport, and everything seems to be going good. We are making about 20 or exactly $20,000 a day, and I actually have some income from the ATM and the food, so that's nice that they're starting to pay things back. And yeah, everything's going good so far, but it's time to start kind of building this airport out. Having one gate and one plane at a time is it's nice, but we could be making a lot more money. We could be doing a lot of other cool things with this airport if we had a little bit more space and a little bit more time to do things. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to expand this out a little bit so it's a little larger of an area for everything to happen in. And then we'll kind of build on another gate and get another runway, or maybe not another runway, but we'll upgrade the runway or see what we can do with everything. So first thing I want to do is build, and I'm going to find walls. So from there I'm going to add, not a wall, sorry, foundation I think it's called. Yeah, foundation. Go through and add that on, and that is exorbitantly expensive. $122,000 to add that on, but we'll do it because we need to. Our airport is growing and we need to make sure it continues to grow. So we'll add on that, and everything should hopefully be nice. It's going to take a little while with our stuff there, and our research has completed with our finance person. So we'll hire that person and see what they want. CFO is in there, and I believe they need I want to say an office. So we'll go through. That thing's popping 2 items for me. I don't know what it wants. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm assuming it's going to be related to what I just talked about, but I'm not really sure. So let's add on a quick little office here. Doesn't have to be anything complicated, and we do need a door to get into that office. Add that on there, and then office desk and office chair. And I'm going to make sure that those things have a higher priority than what this area does, just so that we get everything in there so that we can get stuff built. I'm going to go with it's probably not a good thing that people can come right around this part of the building and get in there. So we're going to call this area security as well. And we'll expand our security offerings at our airport. So that now, oh look, all the people that went around that now have to go through security. Awesome. And I do want to get rid of that wall, so we'll go to buildings and demolish. Or clear that wall. This game's kind of weird. If you go to clear, it gets rid of the items, but if you go to demolish, it actually gets rid of the whole foundation and everything. When I played this for a little bit before, I would actually kind of delete parts of my entire structure because I hit the wrong button. I thought it was just kind of what we were supposed to do there. So why aren't you going in there? Not sure what the CFO's deal is, but he doesn't like his office, so we'll build him a bigger one because CFOs probably like bigger offices. And we'll hope that that does the trick for him. Let's go back and get rid of the existing walls that we have. And make sure that that is suitable to his needs. Apparently not. So it's really going to cost me $2,500 to get rid of him. I'm really not sure what's going on here and why they're not doing that. But they are costing me a lot of money. Maybe we could go into the help area. Nope, that doesn't help at all. Not sure why they will not actually start getting into their office area. Oh, you know what it is? Is you have to do zones and designate it as an office. So let's go through. I'm going to dismantle that for now. We're going to clear out this area. And we'll rebuild some walls. And hopefully I can designate those as offices and they'll take to it and not just stand there in the middle of the hallway for no reason. That will go there, and then I need office desk and office chair. Cool. Alright, and then designate them as offices. Alright, so now they both took their office positions and we have new research available to us. We can change the pricing, which looks like it's going to take 20 game hours to do, and we're down to $4,000. So we really can't do much of anything until we start breaking some more money in here. We're still making $20,000, which is awesome, but again, we need more money, and hopefully when we're able to influence the pricing on things, we'll be able to play with these sliders and get more money for every time an airplane takes off or lands, and more for people who are actually part of coming to my airport. But otherwise, everything's looking good. The security's going relatively quick. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but people are getting through before their plane arrives, which is exactly what we need to have happen. Because if we look at the schedule, there's not a plane scheduled to come until 6 o'clock, and everybody's through security by 5:55. So that's wonderful. We have that set up and ready to go. And let's take a look. And night's falling here. Our research is at 19%. I wish that was a little faster. But we do have just madness happening out here between cars, trucks, buses, what have you, of everybody getting on things. But I guess we're just going to have to deal with that for right now because we don't have a way of changing that. If you go to the operations area, there is a spot for buses, retail, garbage, and light rail, which is that train that you kind of see every so often fly by. But I have no control over that right now. I'm assuming that when we're in research, we can do bank loans, which we may want to consider doing at some point, so we have a little bit more cash. Standby gates, that's fun. Improve airport operations by reducing the number of cancellations or delayed flights. Fun. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, upgrade buses and then light rail. $50,000? No. Can't afford that. So we're up to about $9,000 now, and our airport's done for the night. I don't believe there are any more flights coming in. Yeah, our last flight leaves at 10:30ish, and then the airport's pretty quiet for the night. Airports are, or the airlines are slowly dropping in satisfaction with us, but there's nothing I can really do about that right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. And we are now in the red because there's a terminated plane. I guess somebody in our schedule here. Yeah, there's a flight that used to be there that got completely terminated and cost us $16,000 because of that. So I need to find a new morning flight. Airbus A320, which is pretty much a 737. And I'm going to schedule that plane right in there and hope that it doesn't get canceled, because we're going to be in big trouble if we get another plane that gets canceled here. But we're already working up. We're only $5,600 or so out. Oh, $6,100 out of where we need to be, and we should have a plane coming in here shortly, which will help us out. Come on, plane. It'll be coming. Oh, there it is. It landed a little early, which is great. It gave us a nice bit of money, and we're going through. That cancellation really killed us. I'm not sure why they canceled. There's not a lot of information on what happened if they do or why they canceled. It just kind of does it. So hopefully this game will give you a little bit more information once this thing really gets going. that it says what's kind of happened, because you can see that SparkJet flight got canceled, but again, there's no information about why it was canceled or what happened with it. So I've replaced it with an Atlantic International, but that's not happening for 24 hours. So there should be a plane here right now. Normally there would be, but right now we don't have that. So we just kind of got to wait it out and wait for the next plane to come in. Otherwise, the airport's doing all right. We really need to get on the plus side, especially so that we can get the bank loan. I should have done that when we had money, so that we can do that. But the pricing research is coming along, and should be done hopefully pretty soon, so that we can start adding on that. And we have our new plane in there. That is our Starflight. It came down, we're getting all the stuff, people are leaving through the security area for some reason. And baggage, hopefully, there they go, it's coming out now, so they're all peacing out. And our plane is loading up. Let's see if it leaves on time, if there's anything that we need to be concerned about here. So we're waiting on one person, it looks like. There's 73 or 74 boarded. There we go, that plane left, and did it leave on time is the question. It left when it was supposed to, so that's good, and we have another Starflight plane that came right in. This plane only has 90 seats, and only 54 people are actually on this flight, so that one should board no problem and get out of here early as opposed to later. Still waiting around for that one last person. That plane took off almost 40 minutes early, which is great. But it seems like there's always like one person that slows down the last bits of that. Do we have the option to do this now? Yes, we have pricing completed. So I want to increase that, and I'm going to increase this one, and I'll save those changes. So now you see my airline interest went down a little bit, but now I should be making more money. Whoa! Before we were making $20,000 a day or so. Now we're making $116,000 just because of that change, I think. We might have also gotten a bigger plane when that other one canceled, but I don't think we did. We might have. Who knows? But we're slowly working our way out of debt. From what I understand of this game, there are two different modes. There's sandbox mode, and then there's career mode. Career mode, if you're in debt for over 48 hours, you lose and you have to restart. And otherwise, it goes back into the other mode, which sandbox mode, where you can go unlimited debt and just kind of go and have fun. But it does count money. It just doesn't actually count for anything. But we're back in the black. We're up $9,000. That plane, when it landed, gave us lots of money, which is fantastic. And we'll go through, and I'm going to research bank loans while I have the chance so that we can do that. That plane left 4 minutes early, and things are flying along here. Flying along, get it? But we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're making money, slowly but surely, and planes are leaving ahead of schedule. So that's good. This plane is in there. We have 737 from Aerotime, so 3730. And that one's loading up, has 95 people on board it. And I'm going to have to make these queues a little bigger. There's a lot of people kind of lining up in the queue before they actually go to the queue. I'm not sure why that is. But I'm going to make the queues a little longer, I think, to make sure that they go there. That plane left a half hour early. And everything is going along wonderfully. So we have all of that. And every time a plane lands or takes off, I get $1,000, which I really like. We also got $8,500 for terminal usage for every time the flights get off. They have to pay $50 a person. That's one of the reasons in this game you really want to focus on bigger airplanes, or at least not the little airplanes, because like the little planes that only have 19 people, that takes just as much time as this plane does, but you only get paid for that as opposed to this one where I get paid for like 90 people at $50 a pop as opposed to 19 people at $50 a pop. But you can see that we are well into making money now. We have $22,000. That looks good. Let's go on and add another gate, I guess. And we'll see what that does for us. So we'll go through there. There are two different types of gates. You have aircraft gate, and you also have the aircraft gate large. So you have the regular, even though this one says large and this one says extra large, I think that's just a kind of visual mistake. The large gate holds giant planes like 747s, 767s, what have you. And then these smaller ones, this aircraft gate, that holds like 737s, A320s, basic kind of commuter or short haul kind of flights. But I don't have enough money to afford that right now. We just need to wait for nighttime to roll around so I can do that. I do wish this game had a little skip forward button to the next day, like after the last flights have left. If you don't have any money or you don't have any construction work to do, that you can kind of just skip forward and do that. Again, the game is in early access. You can see down here on the bottom. And I dig it so far. I've been looking for a long time for a good airport building game. I remember a long time ago, like probably like Windows 98, I want to say, maybe XP. But Airport Tycoon, which they really tried to do 3D modeling and focus a lot on graphics, even though they were terrible. They really focused on that, but the game mechanics weren't there. The game just didn't work the way it should have worked, and it made it very difficult to do those things, especially for kind of wanting the game to work the way it should have and really build an airport and do all the stuff. It just never really functioned totally properly for me. And then they came out with a couple of other editions, 2 and 3, and they were garbage. I've purchased them and never actually were able to run them for more than like 5 or 10 minutes. But this game is in complete alpha stage. It's in early access, and I honestly haven't had any problems with it running the way I expected it to, which makes me pretty happy. And judging by the number of updates that the developers have for this, like there's a developer release every day. I'm pretty excited about where this is going in the future. But I do have finally had enough money to go through and kind of build this, so we're going through and adding on a second gate. Hopefully that will allow us to increase our capacity of planes and also spread them out so that our schedule's not quite as packed here. It's really not that bad. Planes have been leaving really early on average, but if we can spread them out a little bit to make sure that it doesn't happen, that will be better for us most definitely. So we need to add on agent desk, and actually before we do that, we need to add on doors. You see how there's like a sliding door here to be able to get in there? So I need to add on a sliding door in front of the gate so that people are actually able to access it, and then we can go and add on a agent desk. So we'll do 2 right in front of that thing, and I do need to make sure I assign the baggage cart to both of those gates so that we have everything. Then I'll go through and add our queue. I'll make sure it kind of drops out at the front of that. I don't know if that's right or not, but we'll see what happens. Oops, that's not where I wanted that to go. And let's just take that and put it there. Sure, that looks terrible actually, so let's go through. It still looks terrible. I'm not a huge fan of the clicking mechanic for this. You have to click, hold, and drag for everything. I'd much rather just single click, but that's something that can be worked on obviously. Then I need 2 staff members to assign to that gate. And I'm also going to make sure I assign the queue to that as well. So now that we have staff members being able to be there, and it's also assigned there. So now when I go to my schedule, you notice that there's another gate. This is B1. So A1 and B1 are both there. You have the option, I believe. Yeah, you have the option to go through and change the names of them. I'm not going to worry about that for right now, but you do have some choices when it comes to that front of what you may or may not want to do. I do want to come up with some type of consistent design for this. I haven't found one that I like right now, but I do want to come up with something for it down the road. Let's go through and see if we can, well, let's first rearrange some flights here to make sure that we don't have any flights conflicting with each other. So I'm going to put a little bit of, well, I'm going to offset them by about an hour just so I don't kill my ground staff. Because I only have the one truck for the... I only have the one truck for baggage, so I don't want to make... I want to make sure that I'm not kind of using that up too much, because if I get behind on a baggage, it's going to be a problem, but I think we'll be alright at this point. So I'm going to add on some seating here. You can right click on these to cancel if you misclick, because on all of these style games it's super easy to misclick. In Prison Architect I do it all the time, and this game I also do it all of the time. So I want to try to start leaving myself some room to rebuild these queues if necessary. I also don't have anything down here, and honestly I don't really plan on placing much down there. When you get to the later stage of the game, from what I found, you can expand outward these ways, but not down. So this area here, I'm not really looking to build airplanes for. I'm looking to build more ticketing areas, more security, what have you. But I'm not looking to really expand anything else from there. Let's see, what else do we want to add on? Add on another flight information thing, because from what I've read, the visitors in this game really like those things. I don't know why. And then we'll add on another food vending area somewhere. Okay. So airport's quiet again, but it should pick up here relatively soon. And from what I can see, I have another few gaps I can fill in. My morning area, actually let's switch these. Alright, so my morning area is looking pretty nice as far as I have that. So I should be able to fill another plane in there. I have another flight I can fill in here and another one there. So I'm looking for a morning, afternoon, and nighttime flight. And if I get those, I think I'll be able to have a relatively full schedule without killing my staff, which is good. So let's take a look and see what our options are. Ember Air, 195, 90 passengers. Let's see if we can find something else. 737 at night, I'll take that. So we have that one filled. Now I need afternoon. Ooh, I have 2 planes at once. So this is the first time we have multiple planes on the ground at my airport, which I'm pretty happy about. So the plane is able to go out, it left on time, and then this one is loading up and hopefully should be able to piece out on time. You can assign these queues to be either first class or general boarding. From what I was playing with earlier and what I read, it doesn't really matter. But I do have a problem here where I have lots of people getting stuck at this spot. So I'm going to go through and add on a couple more of the, well, I guess I'll do more metal detectors as well. And I'll also do more of the X or the back scanners, whatever they're called. You know I have them going the wrong way. There we go. And I'll need to hire a security staff member for each one of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this area is going to be a problem. There's just a giant line. I don't know why they're not using both of them, but there's a giant line, and hopefully with having some additional security staff, that will be able to clear all of that out and we'll be good to go as far as that's concerned. I may also kind of shorten the baggage area and place another queue so that they can go through this one or that one, but I don't know if that's necessary or not right now. But our airport's going, our airline interest is slowly going up, and our passenger satisfaction seems to be pretty good so far. So we still, what do we need? We still need an afternoon, and we can still fit a morning flight. So let's see what's available for us, and we'll kind of go from there. So we have an afternoon. Are those big enough planes? No, 75 people, not big enough for what I want to do. Those are all too big for our airport. Same with these. We do have a 7:37 afternoon, so we'll put that on the schedule. And then we just need to look for a morning flight. Everything's locked out. Oh, okay. So we've had 10 flights a day. We do need an ATC, which is an air traffic control tower, to be able to go through and continue building. So I'm going to go to objects and air traffic control. It's $30,000. Whew. And I'm just going to place it over there for right now. Actually, no. Let's put it in the center of that spot. Okay. So now we're building the air traffic control tower, hopefully soon, and hopefully it'll be ready, and then we can get our morning flight. Yeah, we have one morning slot left. We really have an afternoon slot left as well, but for right now, we'll leave that open and just make sure that we don't kill all of these people, because you can see our janitor services are getting a little behind. So I'm going to hire another janitor just to make sure that our airport doesn't get dirty or gross or anything like that. You can see all of the garbage generated by what's been going on at the airport so far. I think I'm also going to expand our ticketing area at some point. There's a line, it's not bad, but I do want to kind of make sure that as our airport grows, that this grows with it. From what I've found on this game so far, it's really a kind of a balance between building slowly and thoughtfully, but going through and making sure that all of the services that you have and need are set up properly. So as you add gates, you need to also add security, you need to add ticketing, you need to add baggage, you need to add baggage cars, and then you need to make sure all of these kind of services are in balance with each other. Because if they're not, you definitely are going to have problems. But my airport is 737 City right now. That's kind of mostly what's been landing here. And that plane's leaving 22 minutes early. This one should be leaving early as well. I'm still not sure why all these people are lining up in front of the queue instead of just getting in it. But it's not a big deal. It's probably just that they're getting in line to get in line, as is often the case. So airport is quiet for the night at this point. We are set. We are ready to go. And see what our next steps are. We're probably going to go in and add more ticketing stuff. I do want to fix this floor and this floor over here as well. Let's go ahead and do that now. So let's say that everything that is outside, or everything that's inside of secure area, is actually going to be this nice wood flooring, because why not? Bathrooms are going to be this stone kind of color. And everything outside of the actual secure area, what do we want that to be? Let's do floor 1. Does that work? Okay, so that's what's actually being used already, so that works. So we'll do that, and we should have a much nicer looking airport. That costs like $40,000 to do all that stuff. But what's nice here is, while there is that skip option, while there are while I want a skip option for when things aren't happening, when there are things happening, you can see that I have time and there's nobody really at the airport, although we have people starting to show up now for their 4 o'clock flights. They're processing relatively quickly, and we're going to add on our ticket counters to make sure that everybody can get out of here when they need to. And we'll make sure that those are all hooked into our other conveyor system, and we'll add on 2 staff members as well. And our first flight of the day has landed. It is being serviced. Everybody's coming off of that plane and going through. Baggage claim is active and people are waiting for their stuff. Here it comes. And plane is loading up and ready to go, and we already have our second plane of the day here and ready to go. So we have the A320 and the 737 there. But that's where I think we're going to leave this episode of Simairport. I'm really liking this game so far, even though it's in super beginning alpha, and there are a few problems with it. I really dig what's going on, and I'm pretty happy with how the airport looks so far and how it functions. I do want to optimize these queues a little later on and figure out what the heck just caused that problem. But we'll figure that out later. I'll see you in our next episode.